Congressman Randy Feenstra joining us today. Thank you so much for being here.
So great to be on with you. Thanks for inviting me.
So we are less than a week away from the primaries. Tell me just how you feeling.
I'm really excited. I mean, traveled all over the state, telling my vision for Iowa and listening to everyone about how we take the state to new heights. And there's so many thoughts and ideas, and my vision is exciting. We have to become the most business and ag-friendly state in the country. And I learned this from President Trump, that we got to be the best country in the world. We also have to be the best state in the country. And that's what my vision is. And also, we got to get back to world-class education. We got to keep our kids right here in Iowa. And we got to have affordable, accessible health care. And those are my 4 key points of what I found traveling the state and what needs to be done to take the state to new heights.
And taking the state to new heights, a big part of your campaign. What does that look like for you?
It means getting things done. You know, I grew up in this state, born and raised, still live in the same town I grew up in, had a little paper out when I was a little kid, worked at the local bakery. My wife and I met at the local pizza ranch. We have this pizza ranch romance. And then worked as a city administrator, county treasurer. I was in the state senate writing the largest tax cut in Iowa history. And then I wrote the largest tax cut in U.S. history with President Trump and shut down our border. And for me, it's all about delivering results for the people of Iowa to make this state the best state it possibly can. And that's what I plan to do when I'm governor.
I want to jump into a few hot button issues that a lot of voters are keeping their eyes on. You brought up tax policy, and I know on your campaign website you said day one you will make changes to bring relief to Iowans. What are some of those changes?
This is the number one thing I'm hearing on the campaign trail is from seniors. Seniors simply saying, hey, I got to live on a fixed income. I can't afford my property taxes. I hear it from small businesses that say, I can't keep my doors open. So I applaud the legislature for what they did on addressing property taxes. But I want to take it a step further. I want to make sure that we freeze property taxes for seniors so they can stay in their own homes. I also want to make sure that we continue to lower income tax. I'm on the western side of Iowa, so we compete with South Dakota that has no income tax. If we want to be the best, if we want to grow economically, if we put more money in families' pockets and small businesses' pockets, we'll see this state grow dramatically.
And something kind of has to give in order to bring more money, back to Iowans' pockets at the state level. What gives? How do you navigate that?
Great question. There's no such thing as a money tree. I think sometimes people say, well, it's government's money. No, it's we the people. We the people, we're the taxpayers. And I just simply say this, is that I want to make sure people have more money in their pockets and pay less money to government. We also have to make sure we keep the essential services, fire, police, ambulance, and have great schools. Again, I want every school to be world class. I want parents to decide where their kids go to school. But we can do all this if you grow your economy. And this is what I learned from President Trump, is that you got to be very active in bringing new business into your state. You got to sell it. I was head of sales of a large candy company, and that's what I plan to do with the state of Iowa. Sell all the things that we have. We have a great quality of life. We have a great opportunity. We have a great business climate. Now we just got to sell it, and not only that, but help our current businesses grow also. And we can do that collectively and help these small towns be vibrant again.
You want to keep Iowans in the state. You want to address education, make Iowa #1. How do you do that, and do you think the legislature has done enough?
Well, there's always places to go and do more, to take the state to new heights. And I have 4 wonderful kids. Most people have grandkids and so forth. Right now, our #1 export is our kids. Think about that. Our kids are our export. We got to make sure our kids stay right here, that they have the same Iowa dream that I have and grew up with. We have to make sure that when they graduate from high school with a skill, there's a job waiting for them. We also have to make sure that we have great paying jobs so they can stay here. Our #1 workforce, people say we don't have workforce. We do. The workforce is our kids coming out of high school, our kids going to our universities and our community colleges. But we got to keep them here. And that's why we got to bring in more business and make sure we have great wages so they can stay right here and they can anchor and have great families and have a great quality of life in this great state.
In terms of education reform, what would you do to make changes to Iowa's education system in terms of whether it's going further on ESAs, broadening that to more students in the state? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, my parents were both teachers. My mom taught Title I in the public school for over 35 years. My dad taught in the private school for 35 years. And my wife was a kindergarten teacher. And this is the thing. When you talk to them, they say, well, you got to get bureaucracy out of schools. You got to get the DEI out of school. We got to teach the ABCs. We got to get back to the basics, the teaching of math, arithmetic, and not having teachers do all this other stuff All right, we have about 2.5 administrative people for every 1 teacher in our schools. That's wrong. We have to make sure we focus on our teachers, that they can teach, and that our kids and our parents can say, hey, I want them to go to the school of their choice, and say, hey, I want them to go to that school or this school so they can be successful. Right? That's how you start creating world-class education, with parents' engagement and raising the boats of all schools and all teachers to make sure that we have this great educational system. In 1987, we were #1 in education when I graduated from high school. We got to get back to that.
Let's talk about eminent domain. Would you take action if you are elected to office in banning the use of eminent domain for private gain?
Yes, I will work with the legislature. We will get something done. We will not use eminent domain for private sector use. We should never do that. I will protect the landowners and protect the property owners. This is something that we will do when I get to be governor in the first few weeks of session.
Would you take executive action if it can't get over that hump in the Senate?
Oh, I'll make sure we get it done. I will work with the legislature. I was a state senator for 12 years. I know how to get it done, and I will deliver results. Again, we have to protect our landowners, and we cannot use eminent domain. Cannot.
Let's talk about Iowa's rising cancer rates and water quality. Would you allocate more funding to addressing those issues in our state?
This is so important. This is a black eye for our state. We have to get our arms around what's causing cancer. I lost one of my close friends in high school to cancer. This cannot happen. We've got to find what's causing it and get to the solution. Yes, we'll have to spend more money to do this, but we got to get to the bottom of it. Is it radon? Is it water? Is it, we lead the nation in smoking and vaping, all right? All these things collectively, we got to figure out what's actually causing it and then create the solution. And I beg everyone, if you're 50 or older, please get to have your mammogram checked and have your colonoscopy. Right? If we can catch these at early stages, we can save more lives and we can even reduce costs of health care. But we've got to find answers to what's causing it.
How do you get to that data?
We have great universities here. University of Iowa is working on the project right now of researching it. Iowa State's also looking at it. They're getting very close, but they also say, hey, we need the dollars to make sure that once we get it, that we can resolve the issue. And that's the bottom line, is making sure the dollars are available to create the solution.
So would you allocate more money than what the legislature has already allocated?
Yeah, I think we have to. I think we have to allocate, but we also got to stand on the facts, right? What's causing it? Right? The bottom line is we got to figure out what's causing it and then go after the solution and make sure we have it happen. We can't continue to go down this path of being the #1 state in the nation for cancer. It's appalling. It's got to end.
Let's talk about the issue of abortion. Iowa has taken several strides within the past few years in terms of adding more restrictions to gaining abortion access. Would you want to go further? And if so, what does that look like?
You know what? I'm a dad. I have 4 wonderful kids. They're awesome. And my faith teaches me that God created everyone to be on this earth for a purpose and a reason. And I applaud that. And I was in the state Senate when we passed the heartbeat bill, and I applaud that. And I'll continue to work with the legislature to be pro-life. I think it's very important that every child has the opportunity to live.
Do you want to go farther than the fetal heartbeat bill and ban abortions
I tell you
earlier
what,
than that?
I'll continue to work with the legislature on this issue, on what we need to do. But I'll say this, we also need to walk with each person, each lady, and say, hey, we're right beside you. This child matters. Every child matters. And we want to take care of them from 0 to age 18 and say, we're there, whether it be adoption, whether it be foster care, you name it. That's one thing our state's God provides, is taking care of our children, from the parent side to the school side to all the above, all right? These are important, and that's why it's so important that I say, I want to keep them right here. I want to make sure they have a great job and they stay right here and have the Iowa dream like I had.
Switching gears a little bit, other candidates in your primary have criticized you for not attending debates in this primary campaign. Why did you decide not to debate?
Well, for me, it's all about talking one-on-one, talking to the citizens of Iowa. I've done 148 different stops, having meet and greets all over, where I can ask and say, tell me, what is your thoughts on creating and making Iowa a better place to live and raise a family? And it was just awesome to see. In all four corners of the state, there's different answers. We have different economic, different demographics. But to listen to them, I don't need to be on a stage and listen to the rhetoric of other opponents. All right? For me, it's about creating a vision of what I want to do and taking the state to new heights. And that's what I'll do as governor. But it's grassroots. It's all of us citizens together making it happen.
So do you think debates aren't valuable for campaigns anymore?
Well, I'll tell you what. When I win, I can't wait to debate Rob Sand and show Iowans who Rob Sand really is. That's what I look forward to.
So if you are elected as the Republican primary candidate, you would debate Rob Sand?
I will debate extreme liberal Rob Sand. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's jump into another question. Want to kind of dive into with the primary. What sets you apart from the other GOP candidates?
Yeah, I've done it. You know, I was head of sales of a large candy company. I understood what it means to run a business, and I took those business principles in government. I was a city administrator and said, hey, we got to create results in government. We got to run government like a business. And that worked. We dramatically grew our community, small community. I did that at the county treasurer's office, where I was head of our county treasurer, where we lowered taxes. I did the same thing when I was in the state senate, chair of Ways and Means, where I wrote the largest tax cut in Iowa history. I did the same thing in Congress, where I wrote and passed the largest tax cut with the help of President Trump in the United States. I shut down the border with the president. I deported illegals. It goes on and on. Created domestic energy by passing E15, passing our farm bill. You know, you have to understand that in Iowa, our agriculture is the economic engine of our great state. We got to preserve it. But I've done it. I've delivered, and I look forward to delivering when I'm governor.
If you win this primary, you would be up against Democrat Rob Sand. The Cook Political Report about a month and a half ago released saying that the governor's race is a toss-up. What was your reaction to seeing that, and do you feel confident if this race is a toss-up going into it?
Well, I'll say this. I think people need to understand who Rob Sand really is, all right? He comes off as somebody he's really not. He's never really taken a stance on anything. Right. So I look forward to debating him. I look forward to showing Iowans who he really is. You know, I dramatically lowered taxes and put more money in people's pockets. What Rob Sand said, he said it was a mistake. He said it was a mistake. I tell you what, if he becomes governor, this state will look like Illinois or Minnesota or California. We can never allow that to happen. I want to take this state to new heights. I want to put more money in people's pockets. I want to grow this economy, have world-class education, and make sure our kids stay right here in Iowa.
Do you have a final pitch for Iowans as we head into the primary?
I'll say this. I look forward to being the next governor, and I work every single day to make this state better. As President Trump said, we're going to make America great. I'm going to continue to make Iowa the best state in the nation. And we're going to keep our kids here. We're going to have world-class education, and we're going to have accessible, affordable health care by lowering premiums and making sure that ambulance shows up within minutes and not hours. I encourage everyone to vote for Randy Feenstra on June 2.
Awesome. Well, Congressman Randy Feenstra, anything else you want to add before we wrap up the interview?
Oh, thanks so much for having me. And if anybody wants to know more about me, they can go to feenstra4governor.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.